Hello, welcome. This is Patricia. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I live in Alaska. Today we are creating a series of introductory videos or card making classes, Card Making 101. I hope you enjoy this and will continue checking out other videos as they're uploaded. I would also love it if you would give me a thumbs up right below this and subscribe. That's on the red button, and then ring the bell that is right beside that subscribe button. The subscribe button is red until you click on it, so that you will get notifications. The ring the bell will get you notifications that when a new video goes live, you will know that. I also want to thank you so very much for joining me on this adventure as we are creating cards that we actually want to mail to friends and family and those who need a little bit of a pick-me-up or encouragement or whatever it might be. All of the cards that we are going to be making in this card making series will be fairly simple. They'll be quick to create because the series is on beginning principles and techniques and the basics that you need to actually get started. But in every video we will make a card, so it's more than just seeing the technique. And today is about the most basic, I guess you could say, making a card base. And we will be, starting with a piece of cardstock, and I've got that cardstock here in just a moment, scoring it, cutting it, folding it, and then burnishing it with our bone folder. And to do a lot of that, we're going to use our paper trimmer. Also, if you will listen to the very end, I have a quick announcement and we will be good to go. This is our annual catalog. This catalog, it's the end of April right now, 2021. But this catalog will go live May 4th, 2021. If it's a year after that, then we'll be on a new catalog. But for right now, if you do not already have a demonstrator or do not already have a catalog and you intend to purchase from me, I would be more than happy to send you one of these and we'll get you going. Please just let me know down below in the comments, and also if you would just leave a comment saying what you thought of the video. I would greatly appreciate that. I cannot show you the inside of this catalog until May 4th, but at that time I will be showing you some fun things in this catalog. So maybe you'll join me back then. So we're going to take some cardstock here. Your card base can be just about any color you want it to be. We've got 2 pieces of cardstock right here. We are going to use these 2 pieces to make 4 card bases, and I'll show you how we're going to do that here in just a moment. This is our paper trimmer. I had to turn it sideways a little bit here so that you could see the whole thing. I want to show you some of the features on this particular paper trimmer. This paper trimmer is sold by Stampin' Up! And it's got 2 blades on it. One is the score blade to score your cardstock so that you can easily fold it. And then the other one is actually a cutter. And you'll notice the light colored one is the score blade. And I wrote score on there. I just simply took a Sharpie marker and I wrote score on there so that I don't, hopefully, accidentally choose the wrong one. Now, if you choose the score when you mean to cut, no big deal. You just go ahead and cut it. But if you accidentally cut it when you really meant to score it, you know, you start over again. It's really not that big of a deal. It's paper, right? So you can navigate or move those blades out of the way when you're not using them, and hopefully don't choose the wrong one. I've only done it a couple of times, but it does happen. This Bar here is clear. It does lift up out of the way. It does have your measurements along the side so that those are easy to read. I will point this out. If you look right here, I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting, but your cutting blade does have a little marker right there. So if I want to go, say, in this case, from 8 inches up to, say, 5 inches, I can tell exactly where that is. I don't have to guess if I'm going to be cutting that. Also, on the side of this trimmer, it does, the bar does pull out, and it does go to about 17¼ inches. The base goes to right about 6 inches. So for most of your card making, that's probably going to be just fine. If you're doing scrapbook pages, you might need to extend that a little bit further. So I'm going to show you a little bit about making that card base. Again, here's my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, 11 by 8.5. This is for the United States. This is the basic measurements of paper in the United States, be it cardstock or whatever else. Of course, there's always 12 by 12 and others. But we are going to create our card base. And to do that, the first thing I want to do, so this is 11 inches across this way, and what I want to do, not cut it, I want to get my cutter out of there. Let me move that out of the way. Is get half of that, so I'm going to go to 5.5. 5.5 is half of 11, and put this all the way up to the edge, my cardstock, all the way up to the edge, so that I cut and score even lines. I don't want to have a line. If I were to, let me show you this, very, very slightly off. You can see that I'm just barely off, but it's going to make a huge difference in your card base. So you want to get it right up against that line. But another feature that helps you is there is a line printed on the paper trimmer. Get it all lined up, and actually what I'm going to do is score first. So I give it a good score, and then I take it out, and I'm going to turn it the other way. This time my paper is 8.5 inches, so I'm going to go to half of that, which is 4.25. Again, I line it up along the top edge as well as along this edge that is printed, and this time I'm going to cut it. Now the reason I did that is because I was going to cut, or I did cut, 2 pieces of cardstock or 2 card bases. And now that I scored it first, all I have to do is fold it, take my bone folder and burnish it, and I've got 2 card bases there. Again, fold that, take my bone folder, and burnish it. Okay, that's one way to make our cards. We're going to take our second piece of paper, and this time, all we're going to do is cut it. We are not going to score it, and I'm going to show you why. So again, I'm on the 11-inch edge. I get it lined up right up there against the top of the trimmer, and then I'm going to close it. I'm going to double check and make sure that my paper is right along that line. It's very even, and then I'm going to cut. Now I have my 2 card bases again. Notice, well, let me fold this first and show you this. Let me get this out of the way. So what I like to do is you can score it the way we did on this, or you can take your paper, your half sheet of paper, half sheet of cardstock, and line up the corners. Be as precise as you can. Take your bone folder and form your crease. So again, very, very simple. You just match up the corners. Again, be as precise as you can and burnish it. Now, here's what we have. These are the two different shapes. This one opens like this, but it could turn like this and open. Okay, this one opens like this, or it could turn like this. It really does not matter. But this one is a tall, you took the half of a sheet one direction, and this one you took half of a sheet in the other direction. It does not matter. They are actually exactly the same size. There is no difference other than it's got a slightly different look to it. This one is probably less common. This is probably the most common. It does not matter how you do it. Okay, then you may have noticed I've gotten something written on here. I started this video earlier and messed up on it, so I had written this out. But we've got 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, that's our base. That's what this card is on the front. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you've got. This is what it is on the front. If I want to cut a layer for that card, for example, let's say I want to create this card. Notice I've got 2 layers on it. I've got my Daffodil Delight and my Basic White, and I want to cut those layers. If I want to just go down 1/4 of an inch, I can cut a 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have basically 1/8 of an inch going all the way around my card. It's a nice thin layer, but I can see that color. Then I want to put another layer on. So this would be the Basic White layer. Then that would be 3 3/4. I just took away 1/4 of an inch by 5. I just took away 1/4 of an inch. That gives you that 1/8 of an inch all the way around. If you wanted 1/4 of an inch, like this is the card we're going to make here in a moment, if I wanted 1/4 of an inch edge around my cardstock, then I would go 1/2 an inch down. And so I would go from the 4 1/4 for my base by 5 1/2 down to 3 3/4 by 5. I want to go down another 1/2 inch, or 1/2 inch, so that I have another. Now they don't always have to match. You'll notice that this layer right behind my top layer has only that 1/4 inch, or 1/8 of an inch, excuse me. It's 1/4 of an inch less all the way around. So those can make a big difference. So let me show you, once we've got all of our layers, notice none of these are put together. I've got my Granny Apple Green. I am going to take my Daffodil Delight. That's the color of the papers. By the way, I will tell you I'm using the Stampin' Seal, and I like to use that to do videos. And it's easy to use. I also use it in classes sometimes, but often I use the Tombow Multi Liquid Glue. It's just quick. It's just that I don't have to wait for it to dry if I use the Stampin' Seal. Okay, so now I want to line it up the best I can on my card. And then I want to put these 2 layers together. Now, I am going to put one of these up with dimensionals, and I'll show you those in just a minute. I could put the dimensionals between the Daffodil Delight and the Calypso Coral, or I could put them between my front card and the Calypso Coral. I'm going to go ahead and put them between the Calypso Coral and the Daffodil Delight. So I want to first attach this piece. I'll show you what this is here in just a moment. Okay, whoops. And Again, I want to line it up the best I can, and you'll notice this Calypso coral exactly matches the paper, the cardstock that I've got behind. Then I'm going, and that's one of the huge benefits to me of Stampin' Up. As a matter of fact, that's why I started selling Stampin' Up, was because I loved the color coordination and the quality of the other products that we sell. But my first impetus, I guess you could say, was the color coordination. Okay, so then I am going to line that the best I can. Remember, it's a homemade card. It's not going to matter if it doesn't exactly match. And now I am done. The only thing I could do is put a piece of cardstock on the inside. I had one here that I already had done, and I don't see it, but to write on. But this Granny Apple Green is so light, I could actually write on it. I don't have to have a piece of cardstock that is white in order to write on. So let me show you where these cards came from. And I had it here just a moment ago. Where did it go? It comes from a set. Oh, here they are. Of course, right beside me. These are Memories and More cards. That's what they're called. It comes in a set that's got your 4x6 and your 3x, let me measure this real quick, your 3x4, yeah. Okay, so you've got 3x4 cards, and they're all double-sided. So there are lots and lots and lots of cards in there. I don't even know how many there are. And here. And you use them. Oh, and in addition to that, I forgot to show you this, there are some stickers in there as well that coordinate. Now, this particular set is going away, but there are lots of Memories and More cards that we always have. They are great for scrapbooking. They're fantastic for that. Let me show you some of these. They have, oh, here we go. They've got, whoops, it's upside down, but they have spaces on some of the cards for you to write about whatever picture you're putting in there. So a great, great set. And they always coordinate with a stamp set as well. But this is the card that we have created today using one of those Memories and More sets. I hope you enjoyed this, and I told you I had some information for at the end of the video, and I want to show you that. I am building my team. So if you like to have fun, make new friends, learn about crafting in general, and card making and scrapbooking in particular, plus get a 20 to 25% discount on your scrapping and card making supplies, and possibly start your own business. But you do not have to start a business. You could just get the discount. My shopping link, if you want to go there either to buy or to join my team, is StampinWithPatricia, no spaces, obviously, .stampinup.net. If you live locally in Anchorage or Palmer, Valdez, the Valley, Kenai, I would love to come to your home and do a Stampin' Party. And we've got a great party event opportunity for you to earn more for your party show. Also, a great event if you want to join Stampin' Up. And so if you decide you want to do either of those events, I will be sharing more videos about that very soon. And if you want information about either of those events, then be sure and let me know. I will post or show you right here. This is what the website will look like, or very similar to this. If you want to shop, it's over here on the right. If you want to host, it's the third option. If you want to join me on this Stampin' adventure, it's right smack dab in the middle. So again, that's stampinwithpatricia.stampinup.net. Thank you. I hope you had fun and learned something new, and we'll see you next time.